Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Ray. Welcome to this 30-day exploration of your potential, Alchemy of Potential. This is day post 18. Thank you for being here. As always, thank you for your feedback and for your comments. Thank you for your support. It's really appreciated. So today I felt guided to talk about the limit of rational thinking and how we break out of limitation of any kind. And it's something, I've been working with this for such a long time in many ways, but to articulate it, it's been something that's been percolating all day. And I'm going to see if I can just go with the flow, free flow, and see what comes through. But and there comes the first, the first block, try and think about it too much. This is all about feeling, essentially, okay? Because as soon as we're bringing in the mind and we're trying to work something out, and that's how we often meet any challenge, any problem, anything we want to solve, we bring in the mind. Now, the mind is a great thing, but as soon as we're bringing in the mind, we have to be aware of that limitation. Okay, and limitation, I mean that by what we think we know, or what we've experienced in the past, or what we think we can expect, all of that is a limitation in some way. And it's like when we're working or when we're engaging in a meditation, an exercise. And one of the first things I say is we're going to focus our attention and we're going to let go of any story, of any narrative. Because as soon as we bring in story or narrative or any kind of expectation that is from the rational, what we think is possible based on what we've experienced before, we limit our experience and therefore our potential in some way. Okay, we define it in a way that is limiting. And what we want to do with what we know and what the mind brings is to allow it to inform us. Okay, and so anything that comes from the past is there to inform us. As soon as we attach to it as a way of defining or rationally thinking about something, or even if it's subconscious, and that's another thing entirely. But in terms of what we think is possible, there is the limitation because we've defined it in some way. And what I've learned to do in terms of anything that I'm experiencing in life, and it started out with my own healing my health, because I kept on coming up against blocks to what everybody told me or what I thought it was related to. And it was only when I started to tune in and to feel and to let go of what I thought or believed that I found the answer. And what I've started to do is to apply this to every area of my life. Whatever comes up, there is that human element, I am human, that wants to look for the rational, wants to find out the solution or the answer or the path or whatever by trying to work out, and looking at different possibilities. Every time I do that, it takes me so far. And the interesting thing is, as I was looking at this and I was feeling through it, what I was going to talk about today, I got the image of one of these, wind-up robots. I'm from the 80s, 70s and 80s as a child. So one of these wind-up robots, and it hits a wall and it keeps on walking. It's only so far that this robot can go once it hits the wall. And in the same way, rational thinking will only get you so far. And you'll still be walking, you'll still be putting in the work, and you'll still be taking action, but somehow it's not getting the results because you've hit a wall. You've gone as far as the rational mind and way of problem solving can take you. And as soon as you tune in and you observe, it's, what is this telling me? How can this inform me? And one of the things that I can do very well as a super empath, a healed empath, and somebody who's learnt to be hypervigilant through stress, which is interesting, it's become a positive, is that I see patterns and I can join dots and I can use that information, and then I let go and I let the solution come to me. It arrives in my awareness, whether I'm working with somebody else or working with myself and my own life situation. And as soon as you use all that information that you have to hand by joining dots and by observing patterns in the past, whether it's your own healing and what you've experienced and all of these different elements, experiences in life, and you allow that to inform you, but then you let go and you're tuning in and you're allowing something to happen. There's a process that happens. I call it alchemy, or it's magic. It depends which way you want to look at it. But by letting go of it, you're accessing something that is beyond the rational. In a way, and it's by having all this information and joining all those dots and observing. That's what we do in meditation. We observe what is. We let go of the story, the duality, the narrative. And something happens in that space. And in terms of problem solving, there's a quantum leap. There's a bypassing all of this, what we think we know, and the limitation. And things rearrange themselves at the quantum level to bring you to that solution. In a way, there's a timeline jump, or there is an aha moment, or there is a knowing of some kind that you can't rationally explain, but you know that therein lies the solution. And whatever you're experiencing in life, whether it's your health and something that you find that you keep on hitting a wall, or rationally you can't get past, or in fact rationally that's how you're limiting your potential to experience something new, okay? And whatever your challenge is, or that block, the wall that you've hit by your rational way, that linear logic that we tend to follow and hold on to so dearly, as soon as we let go of that and we feel into, okay, what is this showing me? What can I let go of? What is it I'm trying to achieve? Where can I see myself? Okay? And then we're allowing the answer to come to us. And it's by tuning in, observing, but it's letting go of that rational limitation. It's using the information we have in order to understand more about the patterns, to see the patterns, but then allowing for something that is outside the rational, that is from that limitless potential that exists in each moment. And that's tapping into consciousness, whether it's healing, whether it's you're at a crossroads and you're not sure which way to go, or you've simply exhausted that rational, linear, logical pathway to what it is you're trying to experience or create. So there you go. That's the free flow. And see how it resonates. See how that awareness arrives, and what does it awaken within you? What does that feel like as a potential? And again, what I've been showing you in terms of tuning in, observing, listening, that is the pathway to accessing something that is beyond the rational, beyond the limitation of how we tend to engage with life and the understanding of who we are as people, as humans. Okay, we're starting to access our limitless potential by engaging consciously by engaging with consciousness, the quantum, whatever you want to call it. As you engage with this with curiosity, you'll see how much it is you want to hold on to that rational idea of how things should happen or how to make something work, and instead allowing enough space for the shift to happen. It's engaging and tuning into what you feel, holding that potential. So again, this is another block to manifesting, creating, how the rational mind wants to limit the potential in some way, and how by engaging with consciousness, consciously, we can explore something that is outside that rational limitation, and we're accessing the unlimited potential that exists in each moment and within who you are. Observe how much your beliefs and the way that your mind is bringing in limitation to anything that you're experiencing or anything that you are trying to change or to solve, and how your mind is going to be creating a limitation based on what you think is possible. Okay, and also how you're trying to work something out in that rational, logical, linear way that we've been taught is the way to do things. But what we're doing now is learning that there is an alternative. There is a way to engage consciously, and that starts by tuning in to what we're feeling, what we're sensing. And instead of living solely from the mind, we are starting to become fully present, to embody our presence and to tune into all that information that is held in frequency. And we're learning to discern what that information means. And in that way, it's allowing that information to speak to us in feeling, in intuition, in knowing. And there you're going to be developing your gifts of claircognizance, clairsentience, and all the other clairs that are available to us as humans. So let me know how that resonates. If you have any questions, I'm trusting that free flow landed as it should, and we'll see where it takes us. And let me know if you have any personal experience of claircognizance, clairsentience, clairvoyance, clairaudience, having a heightened intuition, sensitivity, and how you're able to tune into and read all that information. And equally, how your rational mind might be limiting you in some way. Okay, so powerful awareness. And as always, looking forward to hearing your thoughts, reading your comments. Do hit the like button and share, and I look forward to seeing you in the next post.